What's up, guys? Xavier Brinkman here with you on the stream.tv. You are here for the very first after show for American Horror Story Hotel. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Kristin Schultz.
Hey, guys.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Great. It's great
Guys,
to be here.
we are stoked. I'm stoked to be with this girl. I'm ready to talk American Horror Story. We are actually live, so if you tune in, get your friends, come join the party, and also tweet us anytime during the week or right now. We will answer your questions at #AHSAS, and we'll get back to you, we promise. But holy hell, what a first episode.
Oh my God, I watched this last night in bed, and that was probably a very poor choice considering the opening scene. I was checking my bed like, is anything in here? Like, what was going on earlier before I got in here?
It was mind-blowing. Did you expect that? How did you feel about it compared to other seasons? What do you think?
Oh my God. Well, there's been so much hype about this season, so some of it I always feel like American Horror Story, like, you expect the unexpected, so I'm sitting there watching going, okay, what madness are they going to bring about next? And every single time, I'm like, this is so scary but awesome, and I need more. Like,
I know. All right.
what is
So,
going on?
like, we had so much happen at the start. So, obviously, we're in like Matt Bomer and that scene at the very start in the hotel with the Ten Commandments killer. That was crazy. Then in a matter of minutes, we have everything. You know, I think the aesthetic is awesome. I think they went from a completely different angle and a totally different feel compared to Freak Show.
Well, and I was reading, I sent you the article from Ryan Murphy. Had an interview with Entertainment Weekly earlier today, which explained a whole lot of the questions that I had.
If you haven't checked this out, it's a really cool Q&A with Ryan Murphy and Entertainment Weekly, and he basically fills in the gaps from last night's episode. Doesn't he? Like, all this stuff. I mean, he was answering questions, and I felt like he was almost giving
too much away. Yeah.
He's like, that happened, like, you know, for certain characters, like, they'll come in the second season, in the second episode. That happens in the fifth episode. This means this means it. I'm like, wow, he really gives away a lot. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, and one of the things he said in terms of how they filmed it compared to Freak Show was that he liked the idea of peepholes in hotel rooms, and so that's why everything was kind of in a fishbowl lens, which really added to it. And he's like, we want to make you feel claustrophobic. And it definitely makes sense with these characters because they are stuck. A lot of them are stuck in this hotel.
That's another thing he said. It's a running theme where the dead stay where they are.
Yeah, just
if
like
you die
Murder
there,
House.
you stay there. So it's interesting to see these sort of guidelines that he's going by almost. And what do you think about the comparisons with with Hotel and like Asylum and Murder House, that they're all sort of in this close-knit like vicinity?
I love it because you get to see so many familiar aspects of it. I mean, we had the realtor who was in season 1. Even the fact
Marcy comes back and kills it.
I love it. And they answer the question about where did her dog go? And I think one of the best things is the certain aspects, the rules that he lives by. The fact that we do find out for sure, it's confirmed that there are a lot of these people are dead and they're stuck in this hotel, which is the same concept as Murder House as well, is they're all stuck. So he plays by the same rules. He keeps them all in the same universe. So it's a lot easier for us to keep up with what's going on.
Definitely. And characters, I mean, it all happened last night. Like, Dennis O'Hare walks out as a transvestite Liz Taylor. And I did hear something really cool from a friend of mine before I got to the studio, is that he took drag queen lessons from Alaska Thunderfuck from the series of Drag Race, of the reality show. So he literally has gone all out on this, like Dennis O'Hare does in every season of this.
He's amazing. I've talked to him on a few American Horror Story red carpets, and I was talking to him the last couple times. I go, every season, your makeup is so different, and from season 1 to what was Freak Show last year, it was the decrease of makeup, but now I feel like he's in a whole other Liz Taylor dimension.
It's
with
crazy.
that.
And then obviously Kathy Bates comes on and just absolutely annihilates it. Sarah Paulson comes on, is just playing a completely different kind of character. Like, she's always been this like sweet type of, you know, good person that bad things happen to almost, you know, and I feel like she just has taken a 360. She's I mean, how do you even describe her? She is a ghost, so if you didn't know that, that was confirmed in this article that we read. She died, obviously fell out of that building, got pushed out by Kathy Bates. She's dead. Who else do we have? Obviously, Lady Gaga, we're going to get to later.
Countess.
I thought she was the Countess was awesome.
We meet all the creepy little children in the hallways.
Wes Bentley, I thought was, as you were saying earlier, I think was a great first introduction for him. He really played the straight man really well.
Yeah, him and his family too. It's just they're gonna keep us grounded in terms of otherwise it would be almost too crazy to handle everyone.
Exactly. All right. So speaking of crazy, what did you think of the opening scene that we saw with Wes Bentley in that hotel room with this crazy murder scene?
It reminded me a lot because once he started going into the murder, and it's the fact that both of these people are cheating on their spouses, and the pictures that were lined up, their eyes were cut out because they're blind to what's going on. It reminded me a lot of Seven.
Totally.
I kept
it's getting
thinking
biblical and religious. I saw a lot of people tweeting in about that.
There's a box, I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, it's like it opened that right up. And guys, I'm trying really hard. So the actor that I'm pretty sure it's him, the actor that plays the guy that's chained up with his eyes and tongue cut out. He might be coming on the show if I can get him next week. So who knows? He's an Aussie guy. So I think what an interesting perception he would have on everything that happened in that. So I mean, all right. So they found the glue. So he stuck it in there, and does that work? And did he put it like all around?
I mean, I would figure there's a lot of glue going on. Whoever did this wants to make sure that
all right, let's be real
it leaves
here,
an
right?
impression.
So it would have had to, I'm getting really graphic
here. They said
here.
at the end, they're like, cut him out.
I mean, but did that mean the glue went, all right, the
I'm
glue
thinking
must
the
have
glue
gone on
went
before?
everywhere.
Yeah, all
I mean,
right.
how super is that glue?
That's like...
I think it's
That's
probably
epic. And did you guys find, like, Wes Bentley picked up on this very quickly. He walks in, he's like, he's trying to say this, release me because, I found glue. He just, like, picked it up very quickly. It was almost like he almost had this odd air about him, like like in American Beauty. Almost, I found that scene, like, parallels. I don't know, might just be me. But
he came in and Sherlocked it. He was just like, oh, I know there's glue under the bed. I know that's where it's at.
Sure.
This is what all of this means. You guys have been here for hours. I'm just gonna
exactly. All right, so within minutes we had that happen. We had two Swedish girls check into a hotel and have a zombie dude, what would you even call that, jump out of the mattress. And guys, why wouldn't you just beeline out of that hotel room?
I would have ran as quickly as you can. I don't even care if Kathy Bates is calling the police on me.
But
I'm leaving.
And explain to me that. How could they have been arrested? What did you say they were arrested for?
It was
evasion. Why?
Yeah.
How could they? I mean, maybe I've got to brush up on my law, but like, how could they have been arrested for evasion for running out of a hotel room where a zombie appeared out of a mattress?
Makes no sense to me. Maybe they were just too nervous. I mean, Kathy Bates is pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
I could see just going with the flow almost, but I just figure I would run for it.
Yeah, I mean.
Although running for it, as we saw later, doesn't quite work out for one of them anyways.
Oh man, I know. And then there's the third scene that just like blew my mind and just was. I was actually watching this with a friend who'd never watched American Horror Story, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" And that scene was Max Greenfield just getting raped by the addiction demon, I'm sure you know. That's the name of this guy, raped by the addiction demon with a drill bit dildo. Where does Ryan Murphy come up with something like that?
Again, I think Seven. Honestly, there's a scene in there where there's pictures of something very similar in nature to that. I mean, it's not an addiction demon,
but true that. But he was obviously a heroin addict. So how does it equivalent to him getting raped with a drill?
Well, Ryan Murphy was saying the same
thing. I never
thing.
thought I would hear myself say those words. Carry on.
Ryan Murphy was also saying in that article that we're going to see more of this addiction demon, and it's kind of the yin to Sarah Paulson's yang. Like, they're both a part of this, where she goes into a room and it's with her, and then they kind of, I don't want to say complement each other because it's not really a compliment, but they're together on this almost, and I think it's just showing the pain that's going on in a physical form that comes with it.
Definitely.
So don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, I mean, I can't even get around it. I have to talk about it now. But first of all, actually, guys, make sure you are checking us out. Tweet us at #AHSAS, and we're going to get to some fan questions later, so tweet them in and we'll give you a shout out and a question and an answer back. But let's get to it. I can't beat around this anymore. Lady Gaga, what did you think?
I loved her. I'm waiting for it to go a little bit deeper. Obviously it will. It's only the first
Sure.
episode, so it's all introductions. But I want to see her character eventually be vulnerable. I want to know. I know Ryan Murphy was saying don't exactly call her a vampire, but I want to know her vampire roots. How
Sure.
did that happen? What did you think?
Sure,
of
I thought
her?
she did really well. Like, I feel like there was so much controversy about her coming on, and I was a little skeptical. I mean, I hadn't, before that, I didn't know she was an actor. Obviously, I've read that she was an actor before her singing days, right?
She did a little bit of acting, but
Yeah.
this is her first big
But I mean, this is
breakout
like,
role.
as you were saying, it's so her. It's almost like one of her music videos, right?
It
Like
had a very, especially because the first scene we see them in is this big kind of musical montage. They're getting ready, they're going on a date night, they're picking up a couple to bring home.
Sure, exactly, right? So let's, I mean, let's just do it. Let's just get into it. So,
Yes.
and obviously, Lady Gaga, her whole persona is supposed to be based around a, what was it, like a soundless film, you know, a, what's it called? Music. I'm
silent
blanking.
film.
A silent film, soundless. Oh my god. A silent
It's
film.
a little later for us than usual. It's
yeah,
cool.
right. It's so she's her whole the way she's acting and her scenes are shot supposed to be depicting a silent film, and I think they did a really good job. And they even had one playing at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Yeah,
and in
Nosferatu.
and right now these days you could never get into the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And for those of you who haven't been to one in LA, they're packed, and you have to wait for like 2.5 hours. So
Yeah,
there's something we
It
picked up.
looked really small compared to, I went to one of them once, and it was
Yeah.
completely packed. You had to get there hours in advance, and I just like how they just like walked in like a boss.
Cruised in, exactly. So I think her and Matt Bomer, I thought, had a awesome chemistry to start with. You know, like they really had a secret, and then like, geez, they just went in and just seduced that couple by a couple looks. And do they have? I mean, like, answer me this, like.
Does that happen?
Do they have? I mean, first of all, does that happen? Not that I've ever experienced.
Please tweet us if that actually happens.
True,
ever.
but two, like the way that they seduced that couple so quickly and so easily. I mean, they're good. They're like Lady Gaga and Matt Bomer are good-looking units, but like,
Sure.
you know, were they using some form of power?
Well, because as we see, if she is, has those vampire roots. The last couple of years with vampires is kind of this sexy, their seduction.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, if you
seducing
go on
the
of
whole
True Blood
time.
rules, right?
Yes.
People are naturally attracted to them. So maybe that's it. Because I thought that was a little too easy. Like a few cheeky looks and then Lady Gaga doing that. I
Yes.
mean, if not, I'm very impressed. But all right, so then obviously we get like that orgy scene was just, and one more thing that just blew my mind. And I was also reading somewhere that that was more of a choreographed dance than anything.
It kind of
right?
looked like it to an the orgy
mean,
looked like a dance.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like it to an extent because you do, again, Ryan Murphy put in such great music to everything, and it had a flow to it that it all kind of worked perfectly. They were each with one of the other members
They'd
of
be
the couple,
underneath.
and then they'd come together, and then they'd go apart, and then all of a
They'd
sudden
be
it
on
would
top,
switch.
and it was almost like when they slit both their throats, they were like counting it out. They like looked at each other to the side, and then it was like 2 and 3 and 4 and slit.
Yes.
So
Was
it
that something you were expecting?
Not at all. You expect things with American Horror Story, but I mean, amazing, crazy things happen. But I guess it's the first episode, but I was never expecting it to happen so quickly, so sequentially.
Well, I think it's interesting too is that they're cutting the throats and able to drink the blood instead. And again, I think that's another point that he's trying to make, that she's not technically a vampire, is that she's not going to bite into your neck.
Yeah.
They're going to figure out another way to get the blood out.
Sure, and so, I mean, we've got like scenes going back to the Swedish girls. So Kathy Bates is like trying to make them drink, like it was like oysters and wine, and you're just thinking like, what the hell kind of torture is this? Like, so obviously Kathy Bates is a servant of the Countess somehow, right? Because she's like, well, when she was talking to Sarah Paulson, she's like, you're going to have to answer to her if her blood tastes like shit. So it's like, obviously, they get in these new people, like fresh blood, they flush them out, the systems if they need to, and then they feed them to the Countess. How does this work? What do you think?
I think that's exact. I think you
Yeah, well, that's what I picked
hit the
up.
nail on the head, is that she's able, and we just see she is just so powerful. She just walks in. I think if even Lady Gaga herself walked into a room, everybody stands at attention.
Yeah.
Now, not only do you have that presence, you also have the added fact that this person will kill you, and not only that, it'll do it in an incredibly painful way, and she's going to suck your blood.
Yeah.
And I just think and Kathy Bates too, part of the reason I think she listens to her so much is she is, can we say, dating her son? She's dating her son, and her son's really important to her, as we find out a little bit later, that's who it is.
You think Kathy Bates is dating her son?
Oh, sorry, Lady Gaga's dating
Oh, yeah,
Kathy
yeah,
Bates,
sorry.
Bates'
I was like, hang on a
son.
sec, I totally missed something there, yeah.
I mean, that's later in the season,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But, you know, Matt Bomer is her son, and she's really connected to him, and I think she's doing whatever she can possible to, because my prediction is that he overdosed and she switched him to her, you know, vampire side.
To keep him alive.
Yes.
All
so
right.
I think Kathy Bates owes her something for that. And that's why
I
she's
love it.
she's being
That's my next. That was my next topic. Was going to be this whole like this thing with Kathy Bates, Sarah Paulson, Matt Bomer, and then Lady Gaga. That's a really.
I think we need a list of, okay, who's dead, who's a vampire, and who's actually alive.
So all right. So Sarah Paulson is dead. We know that for
Yes.
sure. Obviously, she got pushed out of a window. Matt Bomer, we don't know what happened to him, but I think I like where your head's at on that. So obviously, maybe Kathy Bates made a deal. Was like, yo, Lady Gaga, or the Countess, as she would say, keep my son alive, make him a vampire, whatever you got to do, just keep him alive. I don't want him to die. You think that's it?
I think that is.
And then what?
And she also liked his jawline that goes
True,
for days.
and that was another thing we heard, that Lady Gaga ad-libbed that jawline for days line, and apparently Matt Bomer was acting dead and trying not like bursting with laughter.
Yeah.
It must be so weird shooting scenes with like being like, oh my god, I'm shooting an orgy scene with Lady Gaga right now.
Well, Matt was saying in an interview, he when he's going into the premiere, he's like, the only thing that scares me is seeing myself naked, so I'm gonna cover my eyes during that scene.
Oh man, yeah, so much nakedness, so much naked Matt Bomer, and like Lady Gaga looked pretty good. What do you think?
Oh,
she was
my God,
fit,
she's
right?
fabulous.
She looked fit.
You know what I like too is not to go too anti like stuff that way, but like she looks like a woman. You know, she has a figure, but she's in shape. You can tell like that's just she's comfortable in her skin. I loved it. Such great confidence, and why not?
And exactly. And I think she, going back to her performance, I feel like she really demanded the attention in every scene. You know, I feel like she, when she slit the Swedish girl's throat and turned around to Kathy Bates, like she was actually scary. And then the way she just walked out with not even thinking about like, I don't know, cleaning up or whatever. She just was like, yo, I saved the day and now I'm out.
Exactly.
You know? And I have also a question, like, so what happens, like, so the cops have only been called. It seems like everyone who goes into this hotel is just gonna die.
Yeah. Did the cops even show up? Did she actually call the cops?
I mean, all right, and this is another thing. Wes Bentley showed up. So the Ten Commandments killer called when Wes Bentley said, go to Hotel Cortez, check out room 64. He goes in there, doesn't find anything, and falls asleep.
Something's going on with that because we saw one of the Swedish girls also fall asleep. So and they both woke up to the radio playing an old song.
Very true.
Something in the air.
I didn't even pick up on that.
It's a
I didn't
sleepy
pick
hotel.
up that. I mean, yeah, that's my next topic. So guys, how the hell was Wes Bentley's son Holden kidnapped by Lady Gaga? It was do we know what year this is set?
Present day.
It is present. So it's 2015, so 5 years ago. So 2010, Holden, Wes Bentley's son, was kidnapped off the merry-go-round, or the horsey ride, whatever, on Santa Monica Pier. 5 years ago, and then, what, so now it all intertwines now? He actually got called to a murder in the hotel that his son was taken. And you know when he woke up and he was like, Holden, like you see the blonde kid? And then all of a sudden he disappears. And then for some reason, his wife asked him to leave because he looked too much like the son and reminded her of him.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to that hotel, to that room. Why?
I think he's still trying to not only discover what's going on with the Ten Commandments murder, because he did get called to go to that room and didn't really find anything. So I think he's going back partially because of his job. I think there is some kind of a weird seduction just from the hotel itself that draws him into it. And I think there's a bigger plan for him.
Sure.
What that is, I don't know.
Sure.
And I also think the fact that he did think he saw his son brings him back there, and he's looking for answers for that as well. So there's a lot of reasons why he would be there. I hope he's like packing or something.
Sure,
Not that that's going to
and
help with dead people, but
yeah, I feel like they've done so. I mean, I really love this episode. I really love where this is going. It's like I know that they're going in a darker direction. I can definitely see that after this first episode. I really feel like they've set up these bizarre characters, and we haven't even seen all of them. We still have Evan Peters, Emma Roberts is still going to come on. Who else?
Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, we have so many to come on still. I mean, it just could go anywhere.
And Lily Rabe, one of my
Lily
favorites.
Rabe is going to come.
She's going to come as that serial
Everyone.
killer.
So, and guys, there's only two, as you might have noticed, there's only two of us, because literally if there was 3 or 4 of us, this show would go on for hours.
Yes.
So, but anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. We're gonna go to a quick break. Make sure you tune in just a short time. We'll be right back.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it.
That was freaking
How
love
did we not figure it
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah?
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was killed.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and we
Another
appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, we are back. If you've just tuned in, you're on the stream.tv watching the first after show for American Horror Story Hotel. I'm Xavier. Kristin, we're right in the thick of things here, guys. It's been an emotional roller coaster so far, right? But we're gonna get into some fan questions. If you guys haven't tweeted in, the hashtag is AHSAS. Just tweet us and we will hit you back. We promise anytime tonight or during the week, because there's a serious amount to discuss.
What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter handle is @Xavier Brinkman on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at Kristin Carole 13, also on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, guys. So the first fan question we have in is Max's character dead? Is Sarah Paulson's character a ghost or some kind of immortal? Is the Countess human?
Well, we talked about Sarah Paulson, that she is definitely a ghost, but like Murder House, it seems like they can touch stuff, they can interact with things. So she's this spirit that can only be alive in the hotel. That's the rule for that. Max, I think because we saw in the preview that he's being rushed to the hospital, correct? Did you see that as well? It was a quick glimpse of it. So I think he's still alive, but he's not doing so well.
Well, we did see Max under the
bed.
We did see him under the bed looking pretty dead, right? And we did see, you see his like pupils dilate just before he died, and then he sort of had his like last breath. So that's what I must have missed the
I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, of horse fans out there, but that's what I thought I saw when I was watching the Coming Soon, that that's what was going on there. And I thought when he was under the bed, there was throw up, and that he just overdosed.
Yep.
Not completely overdosed, but just had a bad experience with the heroin.
Just a bad experience with the old heroin. It'll get you.
Typical Friday for Max.
Okay, is the Countess human?
No.
Can't be,
Part
right?
can't be completely human, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like, so she's vampire, but I know, like, I mean, obviously there's, like, she doesn't have fangs, guys. Her kids don't have fangs. So it's like, I feel like they've tried to stray away from the typical, like, True Blood, Vampire Diaries, like, straight up. There's been a lot of vampires lately, you know? So it's like, obviously Ryan Murphy's like, all right, Lady Gaga, we're gonna make you a part vampire, but not your, like, straight up textbook vampire, if that's even a thing.
She's definitely from another another time.
Yeah.
I think even the fact that they went to go see Nosferatu,
Yeah.
which is a silent movie, kind of explains that she probably has different. I mean, I like Nosferatu, but like I'm not a vampire.
Yeah.
But I tend to think based off of strictly with his kind of storytelling, there's a reason she went to that film.
Sure. I think that's an awesome pickup. They definitely did see that. And I feel like Lady Gaga is a lot older than she looks, you know, in that regard, right?
I think the blood keeps her young.
Sure. Okay, guys, I don't have the next two questions written down in front of me because I'm an idiot, but I kind of remember them. So the next question, I believe, is Lady Gaga the new Jessica Lange? And that, you go. I mean, I got so much to say on this one.
Technically, in terms of who's the leading main female character, yes. Can she be Jessica Lange? No. And also, if Jessica Lange were in this show, I don't think it would go that direction. If Ryan Murphy was writing for Jessica Lange, he would not. And I doubt Jessica Lange would do the stuff that Lady Gaga is doing.
I know,
in this.
that's the thing. It's like,
And she's the supreme. She's just
exactly. So
she's Jessica Lange.
she needs to stay in that memory. I mean, I've seen a lot of people. You know, Jessica Lange was trending on Twitter today. You know, people are just like, "Oh my God, no Jessica Lange, I'm out." You know, Lady Gaga will never replace her. But I feel like that's a really tough thing to put on Lady Gaga. She's just been cast as a character. No one ever said that she was the new Jessica Lange, right? And you know, I agree with you. I don't think Jessica Lange would be right for what Lady Gaga is doing. Could you see her having a foursome?
I mean, she can do what
Probably,
she wants because she's
actually,
Jessica Lange.
Probably.
And we saw it was in Coven at the beginning. She's floating around with a guy and takes his life that way. But that's more of the style I think she would go for. I don't think she would do entirely gratuitous sex scenes.
Sure.
The way that Gaga's able to bring it that way. And I think it's supposed to be a whole different feel. And I think if Ryan Murphy could have had Jessica Lange, he would have had her again.
Definitely.
I heard a rumor that she was maybe gonna do like a quick cameo in Hotel, but I don't know how.
They're trying real hard. I also heard
They're still
that,
filming.
Yeah, for sure. I know, you never know. I also heard that Ryan Murphy's already asked Lady Gaga to come back. He loves her, so I think she'll do it. Why the hell wouldn't you? You know?
Or at least go back for a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if she's not the star of it, I think it'd be fun for her to go back.
Sure.
And she even said it changed her life in ways she never even imagined.
Yeah.
The fact that she came to this place and everybody had nice things to say about her, and I don't think it was BS. Like, oh yeah, we love the new kid.
So yes, so just to like break this down, a yes or a no, is Lady Gaga replacing her?
Technically yes, but I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I'm just saying no. As I said, to what I said earlier, I feel like Lady Gaga is just another character. It's unfortunate that Jessica Lange's not back, but I loved her. But I don't. For me, it doesn't. You know, her not being there doesn't ruin it all. And I think it doesn't ruin this season for me. I'm definitely gonna watch. And
oh yeah, definitely.
You know, so I'm gonna have to say no. I don't think she is. So thanks for your question. We appreciate it. The last question was from Gaga Daily, asking, apart from Lady Gaga, who was your favorite character?
I love Kathy Bates just in general and everything that she's in, but in terms of actual characters, I really liked Wes Bentley's character because it's so hard to play the straight man.
Yeah.
And just from an acting perspective, I think he did an amazing job. He's such a great actor. I think his biggest role that most people know is like the Hunger Games, so it's fun to see him in this kind of a role.
And I think Wes Bentley. I think American Beauty for some reason, like that's where I first was curious about him. Yeah, Wes Bentley did a great job. I mean, I'm panicking right now. Like Kristen's talking, and I'm like, think of your favorite character.
Favorite one? Gaga.
Yeah, I have a couple. I think I'm really excited to see Dennis O'Hare, his like bizarre casting and like evolve, you know, into Liz Taylor, whatever he's got planned for that. I think, yeah, Kathy Bates is great. I think I'm really enjoying seeing Sarah Paulson just being a badass, like doing something a little bit different. I'm, you know, really interested. I feel like so many of the characters have got so much more to give. You know, it's really going to evolve, and we haven't even seen all of them yet.
Well, I'm excited to see Matt Bomer too. I have never seen White Collar, so I don't know much of his acting stuff except from he was in American Horror Story last season for an episode.
Yeah, and he was minimal.
He was
in like a gay scene with Finn Wittrock, right?
Magic Mike was like 2 seconds as well. So I'm really excited because you hear so much about him.
Sure.
And if you're watching, White Collar, of course, you know him. That's his biggest role. Now I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Sure, and that's one other point with the vampire thing. They opened the curtains, and he was like, "Yo, shut the curtains." He wasn't dying. So
Yes,
there's
the
another
light's
little
okay.
point that they're not your typical vampires if they are vampires.
Exactly. They're Ryan Murphy vampires.
Sure, and then, yeah, exactly. So that's a few, and then, yeah, Kathy Bates is just awesome. I'm super stoked that she's back. So that is them, and that is the end of the fan questions. We want to do a couple Twitter shout-outs. We have a shout-out to @AHS_fans, @AHS_fandom, @AHS Tampa fans, and the AHS posts. Guys, thank you so much. They're all your main ones, all your main Twitter fandoms. We want to get a shout out to you guys straight up because we know we're going to be talking to you probably for the next 10 weeks. It's been amazing. Again, you're watching the stream.tv, the very first episode or the after show of American Horror Story Hotel.
So
this lovely lady is Kristin Schultz.
Hey guys.
And we'll be back next week, so make sure you tune in using the hashtag AHSAHS. Xavier Brinkman.
Many
Peace out. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.